Unit 3.1, the chain rule. So first, let's go over some composite functions. And what a composite function is basically just a function within a function. So g of x within f of x. So for this, our f of x will equal sine of x, and our g of x equals x squared. Right here, our f of x is the square root of x, and our g of x is the natural log of x. And right here we have three functions, so we can call the outside one f of x equals cosine of x, this one g of x equals sine of x, and the third one we can call it h of x equals 5x. Now the chain rule. Derivative of a composite function, so which is the chain, so the derivative of the composite function f of g of x is f prime of g of x multiplied by g prime of x. So for some practice problems down here, we can find the outside as, we could find the derivative of the outside, which would be by applying the power rule, this would be 4 inside, which is gx multiplied by gx, which is x squared minus 5 to the power of 3, multiply by g prime of x, which is 2x. Then we could just instead of just solving the whole thing, we could just say f prime of x equals, multiplied by these, 8x multiplied by x squared minus 5 cubed. For this problem, first you find the derivative, which is of the outside, which is 1/2 multiplied by the inside, 4x minus 3 to the power of, not to the power, this will be 1/2 multiplied by the square root of 4x minus 3 multiplied by the derivative of g of x, which is 4. So multiply this together, this will be 4/2. You can cancel those out, so it will be g prime of x equals 2 over the square root of 4x minus 3. Over here, we could rewrite this as sine of 5x squared. Apply the power rule. So 2 multiplied by sine of 5x multiplied by the derivative of sine of 5x. So multiply by cosine of 5x. And you also want to multiply by the derivative of the 5x, since this is also another function. Multiply by 5. And then h prime of x will end up being 10 sine of 5x multiplied by cosine of 5x. Now down here, these are two of the exact same problems. Y equals the natural log of x cubed. And that's because there's two different ways we could solve this. Right here, we could do find the derivative of the whole thing, which is 1/x cubed, multiplied by the derivative of the inside, which is 3x squared, and then this will end up being 3/x. Or we could rewrite this as y equals 3 of the natural log of x. find the derivatives. So dy dx equals 3 multiplied by 1 over x. And that'll also find us 3 over x. Number 6. First, we have to find our first part of the equation, f prime of g of x. So we find the derivative of this first, which is 3 multiplied by g of x, which is t squared plus 1 over 2t minus 5 squared, multiplied by the derivative of this. So to find the derivative of a fraction, we have to apply the quotient rule. And we'll do that by like this. 2t, 2 cross multiply. And this will end up being 4t squared minus 10t minus 2t squared plus 2 over 2t minus 5 squared. Simplified, we'll get 3 t squared plus 1 over 2t minus 5 squared multiplied by 2t squared minus 10t minus 2 over 2t minus 5 squared. Once you multiply these together and simplify them, you'll find that f prime of x equals 6 multiplied by t squared plus 1 squared multiplied by t squared minus 5t minus 1 over 2t minus 5 to the power of 4. Number 7, if g of x equals 2x multiplied by the square root of 1 minus x, find g prime of 3. So first, we'll apply the chain rule to this problem. And we'll find that the answer, or we'll find that the equation is 2 multiplied by 1 minus x plus x over square root of 1 minus x times negative 1. And once you apply chain rule and find that, you plug in your negative 3. So g prime of negative 3 equals 2 square root 1 minus negative 3 plus negative 3 over square root of 1 minus negative 3 times negative 1. Once you plug all that in, you'll find that the answer is g prime of negative 3 equals 11 over 2. Number 8, given the following table of values, find f prime of 4 for each function. So for this one, again, apply the chain rule. So the derivative will be 2 of g of x multiplied by g prime of x. Once you have your function, you just find the values in the table. So f prime of 4 equals 2 multiplied by gx at 4, which is 3, multiplied by g prime of x at 4, which is negative 2, and negative 2. So f prime of 4 equals negative 12. Square root of hx, chain rule. This would be 1 over 2 multiplied by square root of h of x, multiplied by h prime of x. You plug in your values. 1 over 2 square root of 9 times 5, which will be 8 f prime of 4 equals 5 over 6. Chain rule, which will make this equation h prime of g of x multiplied by g prime of x. F prime of 4, you plug in your values. H prime of 3 multiplied by -2, which will make is equal, so h prime of 3 is -3. -3 times -2 is +6.